All right, hopefully this video will work to explain the Criterion B that you're gonna work on today. First of all, this Criterion B is graded. I know not being there is not ideal, but remember, Criterion Bs are not about prior knowledge that you're coming in with, but rather looking at new information and looking for patterns in that new information. So you've got a short rubric at the top that should give you some ideas about what I'm looking for. And then we've got a link here that is where you're going to collect the data. So this illustration here should be very familiar from the notes earlier. We have our transversal T and our two lines K and M, and then our numbered angles across. So you can see before you even open the GeoGebra site, you can go through and list all the named relationships between those different angles. The measure relationship is what we're going to use for that GeoGebra for. So for instance, 1 and 5, I'll give you the first answer. 1 and 5, they're both the top and the right of the vertex, they're vertices. And so those are corresponding angles. So right there, we would write corresponding. All right. Now, if we click on that GeoGebra, oops, and I did that earlier just to make this quicker, it should come up and look exactly like this. And we can click through and it will show us alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior, same side exterior. So all the different angles that we've talked about. Yeah, all the different angles that we've talked about. These sliders here will turn the transversal or turn the two other lines, K and M, I think. I don't remember what the letters were that named those two angles, but that will turn those, and this will turn the transversal. So if I take a look at it, okay, there we go. That's kind of lined up the same way. Now, to measure an angle, it's this button up here at the top that has a little angle in there. And then you're going to select 3 points or 2 lines. Let's see. So if I wanted to measure this green angle right here, I would start there and there. And there. Nope. Okay, so see, that measured the outside of that angle. That's not what I want. So I'm going to undo that. Oops. Just undo that. And now to measure that angle, I'm going to start down here at the bottom and then go up and around. So the order of those 3 angles, the 3 dots that you click will determine kind of the way that that angle measurement happens. I believe it is always a counterclockwise measurement. So if you click the dots in kind of counterclockwise order, it'll get you the angle that you're looking for. So you can see that this angle is 65 degrees. And if I take the slider and move it, that measurement stays on there. My recommendation for you, since you're going to be using all of these angles, would be to go through and click through that angle measurement, boom, 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 and get, oh man, I always do that in the wrong order. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Maybe it's clockwise order. Anyways, no, counterclockwise. I was right. Regardless. My recommendation is to go through and get that angle measurement on there for every angle, and you can go through and just kind of quickly, quickly get it. So you can see that I have all 4 angle measurements on that particular vertex. You can see that the vertical angles are congruent, 119 and 119, 61 and 61. You can see that the linear pair are supplementary. They add up to 180, and that's going to stay true no matter how I turn that transversal. So it does not matter what your picture looks like. Now, once you get all of the angle measures on there, you're going to be able to fill out the angle measurement, the measure relationship. And you have 3 choices really for this. They're either going to be congruent, supplementary, or none. If you do happen to get some that are complementary, they add up to 90, that would be fine to put there, but I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, all of them are either congruent, supplementary, or none. This part of the assignment should not take that long. You should get the right answer here because all you're doing is looking at that picture and looking at those angles. And you measure angle 5, measure angle 1. If they're the same, you write congruent. If they are supplementary, they add up to 180, then you're going to write supplementary. If it's none of the above, then you write none. This is the part that's going to get you the biggest chunk of the grade. So everything that you've done up to here is not really part of the graded assignment, because all you're doing on this graded assignment is looking at the patterns. So in order to look at patterns, we need to have patterns, and that's what you're creating here. And now you're going to write about what conclusions can you draw about different transversal angle relationships. So thinking about the transversal angle relationships that you learn on your notes. So if you look at your notes, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seven different transversal angle relationships: interior angles, exterior angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior, same side interior. I can just show you on those notes exactly where those are. But they run right down there. And you're going to draw any conclusions based upon your findings above. So you've collected some data. What are those relationships? Can you justify the results? So this justification, that's what is really going to kind of take you into that 7, 8 kind of world. And then, will the relationships always be true? Why or why not? So think about kind of what the limitations are on the GeoGebra, the picture that we looked at there, versus maybe the picture that you have on your notes here, to talk about whether those relationships are just special or whether they always happen, and what you might look for to make them always be true or make them sometimes be true. And finally, is it possible to prove these results? I am not looking for a proof here, not looking for a formal proof here. We'll do a proof later on all these. We don't have to worry about that. But moreover, I'm looking for kind of a plan. What kind of things would you use to justify the conclusions that you've drawn? What do you know to be true about angles, and how does that impact your conclusions? I know I'm kind of being vague there. And it's because I want to see what you guys can come up with. All right. So do the best you can on this. Yes, it is graded, and I will be very aware that while I'm grading it, that I was not there, and you guys are kind of flying by the seat of your pants. I'm also aware that you guys will have to type this website in instead of just clicking on the link. I apologize for that. But we make do. If there's any problems getting to that website, let me know, and just do the best job that you can. Thank you so much, and good luck today.